Hey, hi, hello, it's your boy Nate. I read books because reading is sexy, and if you're not reading, you're not sexy. It's so good to be back home and have like a really decent cafe soda, Vietnamese iced coffee, y'all. Crack cocaine, this thing. I love going fast. All right, so I have, I don't know if I can lift all this up. Ooh, that's heavy. That's real heavy. Okay, down you go. This is the big book haul. These are all of the books that I've acquired in the year of 2024 since I've been away. I'm here to give you a little haul. It's from friends, publishers, and things that I've gotten myself. So let's just zip through it. Let's go. R.K. Narayan, Talkative Man. I don't know what this is about, but there's this, I think like book Twitter is so underrated. Book X. Does anyone still use Twitter or X, like when they're talking? Do you call it X? I don't know anymore these days. I gotta, what do you call it? Survey. Ask my friends, see what they call it. But anyway, this particular account, they curate a lot of like old editions of books, and I saw this and I was sold. I love this illustration. It's so good. And I've never read anything by this author. I've never read any like South Indian literature, actually. So I'm really excited to get into this. Bizarre happenings at Malgudi are heralded by the arrival of a stranger on the Delhi train who takes up residence in the station waiting room and, to the dismay of the station master, will not leave. Ooh, very curious. But yeah, I just loved this illustration so much. Who's this by? Oh, Christopher Brown. Yeah, I just loved that illustration so much. Is it slightly homoerotic? Anybody know? Let me know. Comment, let me know. Anyway, yes, excited to do this. Also for myself, I got a copy of Yukio Mishima's Confessions of a Mask. I love this cover so much. I've seen it go around like Bookstagram, everywhere, just everywhere. Yeah, I just really love the sort of simplicity of this cover. It just reminds me of like Noguchi, Isamu Noguchi. The cover design is by David Ford. Story of an adolescent who must learn to live with the painful fact that he is unlike other young men. So, Mishima. And what, is he gay too? Is he gay? Yeah, anyway, Mishima, total queen. So excited to do more of his work. I just find him so fascinating, politically, problematically. I also just love how simple and easy his prose goes down. Excited to do this. Okay, we also have, who's this from? This is from Harper Perennial. This is Ursula Le Guin's The Possessed. And thank you, Harper Perennial, for sending this over. This is so cool. Look at this. It comes with 3D glasses. The cover is just like 3D. Y'all, come on. Anyway, I don't think I've done any Ursula Le Guin, so I'm very excited to do my first with this. Masterful, thought-provoking tale of anarchism and capitalism, individualism and collectivism. All of those ism, folks. And one ambitious person's quest to bridge the ideological chasm separating two worlds. Ooh, double worlds, double people? Sounds interesting. What I've been told with Le Guin's work is how inherently political it is, but still very strong sci-fi it is as well. But it's approachable, so very excited to do this. Okay, I was also sent Creation Lake by Rachel Kushner from Scribner. I've heard some pretty scathing things about this. Also, what's his face? Oh, y'all, what's his name? He has a Substack. He's an author himself, part of like the MFA crowd. Anyway, he wrote a scathing review of this, and also a very good writer, because when I read it, I was just like, oh, that doesn't sound so bad, until I like actually broke down his review, and I was like, oh, that's pretty harsh. Anyway, Creation Lake, Rachel Kushner. I've not read any Kushner, but this is a secret agent novel. I heard it's quite bland, unfortunately. But thank you, Scribner, for sending this over. I might get to it, I don't know. 400 pages. Rachel Kushner. I want to do The Flamethrowers, I think it is. Is there another essay collection that's out that she's done that I really want to read? Anyway, Kushner. Anybody read this? Let me know. Let me know your honest thoughts on this. I'm gonna hold all of these up together. My friends sent over Roland Barthes. I was reading a Barthes a long time ago, and then they sent me a bunch of them. This is a biography of some sort by Rick Rylance. Roland Barthes, Rick Rylance. Another biography on him. And then we also have Barthes' The Eiffel Tower and Other Mythologies, translated by Richard Howard. 30 more of Mythologies, which have made Roland Barthes the most attentively read analyst of what might be called the sociopathology of everyday life. I find Roland Barthes to be just a really interesting figure. Same with like John Berger. I recently read Essays 1 by Lydia Davis, and she mentioned Barthes a lot and how he's so individualist in that the world revolves around him, but in not that, I mean, it could be slightly obnoxious, but the way that he moves through the world is about him, and he makes everything about him, but through the avenues of so many different kinds of art. And I think that's what makes him so fascinating, and his outlook on art. In that way, he becomes an art critic, but also a critic of himself. That's when it gets personal. He makes art personal, and he makes it personal for himself. Really excited to do more Barthes. I got this one for myself. This is Notes on Shapeshifting by Gabi Abrão. Chetine recommended this to me. Well, she recommended her Instagram to me. I didn't think too much of it until I actually dove deep down into her photo dumps, and I just found them so fascinating. And Chetine had told me that she had written a book, so very excited to do this. Notes on Shapeshifting is an ode to existing in physical form, fully aware of the changing energy that flows through every aspect of it. From what I've gathered, she's sort of a modern-day Lispector, all on sort of the topic of wellness and self-discovery. So very, very curious about this. Sally Rooney, Intermezzo. I did it in this Barnes & Noble's limited edition. In the orange. Say what you will, but I don't mind the yellow cover. When I saw the orange, I was just like, ugh, gross. But I was just kind of like, okay, why not? So I have Sally Rooney's Intermezzo in orange. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I've told myself that I would like to reread this eventually, but probably not now. I think I'll wait a year or two more and then reread it. We'll see. Okay, what else? We have Quentin Tarantino's Cinema Speculation. I remember when this first came out in hardback, and I was just like, that's a doorstopper. This is also sent to me by Harper Perennial. Thank you. I like Tarantino's work. I think it's interesting, and it's ultra-violence, and the way it's set up, he is definitely a film bro and a film bro fave. He has quite a hand, actually, in movie theaters in Los Angeles and upkeeping them. Oh, which one is it? Is it the Beverly? I think it is. But he has saved a cinema or two in LA, and I just love that. LA has great theaters to watch great big pictures in theaters. Anyways, what is this about? Okay, it's sort of his essays around American films from the 1970s, and that's all I really want to know. I don't know if Tarantino is the strongest writer, but he does watch a lot of movies, and I trust what he takes from movies and how he incorporated it into his own, and yeah, I love that. Oh, okay. I've been wanting to read this for a long while now. It is Dancing on My Own by Simon Wu. This was kindly sent to me by... Oh yes, HarperCollins. Thank you, HarperCollins, for sending this over. It's essays on art, collectivity, and joy. We have praises from really major people, or that I find really interesting. We have stuff from Hua Su, Claudia Rankine, Andrea Long Chu, Kathy Park Hong. In Robin's 2010 track Dancing on My Own, the Swedish pop singer chronicles a night on the dance floor in the shadow of a former lover. She is bitter, angry, and at times desperate, yet by the time the chorus arrives, her frustration has melted away. She decides to dance on her own, and in doing so, transforms her solitude into a more complex joy. Curator Simon Wu dances through the institutions of art, capitalism, and identity in these expertly researched, beautifully rendered essays in the movement of Robin's seminal track. Okay, sold. Into the rhythm of a great Robin song? Why not? I've not read any Simon Wu, but I am totally infatuated with his artist photo in the back there. I mean, what a man. What a man. I mean, Hampton Heights, a novel by Dan Coyce. This was kindly sent to me, also by Harper Perennial. And this is on a cold winter's evening in 1987, 6 middle school paperboys wander an unfamiliar Milwaukee neighborhood, selling newspaper subscriptions, fueled by their stupid manager Kevin's promises of cash bonuses and dinner at Burger King. But the freaks come out at night in Hampton Heights. Ooh, freaky. What is it? Reminds me a lot of the Boxcar Children. So sort of those middle school mystery books, getting into some antics, I'm into it. Sounds fun. I think I requested this because I love the cover so much. It's just so much fun. Hand-drawn, and you got these monsters and the van on the cover. That's just a lot of fun, okay? That's just a fun cover. And I love fun, all right? I love fun. It's not all so intellectual over here. Okay, I do love fun. Another cover that I was so drawn by was Misrecognition by Madison Newbound. This was sent to me by Simon & Schuster. Thank you, Simon & Schuster. This is about Elsa, who is struggling. Her formative, exhilarating relationship with a couple has abruptly ended, leaving her depressed and directionless in her childhood bedroom. Okay, look at that. She's gotten out of something adultish and has come back to her childhood bedroom. That's kind of beautiful. I guess major notes on reflection, aging, becoming, and I'm all into that. And I just love this cover so much. It's just so beautifully designed. So elusive yet lustrous. Let me know if anyone's read this too. Would like to know. Yeah, okay. Again with fun, y'all. I got The Really Dead Wives of New Jersey by Astrid Dahl. This was sent to me by Simon & Schuster. Thank you so much. Yeah, I just thought this cover was just really fun and cute and just looked like one of those really fun airport reads. Like, why not? Why not, okay? When Hope Bennett marries Carmela Fontana's brother, Leo, she becomes not only a Fontana, but a Garden State goddess, and not everyone is happy. Secrets will be revealed, decades-long rivalries will surface, and a sudden murder will lead to a reality reckoning no one is prepared for. Okay, that's it. That's all I want to know. Sounds fun. Ooh, finally in paperback, y'all, because as much as I loved the hardback edition, I was really infatuated with the paperback edition. This is Julia Fox's Down the Drain. I've wanted to own a copy of this. This was sent to me by Simon & Schuster. Thank you. I've already read this. 5 stars from me. I think she just lived an incredibly wild life. It almost feels like she did it for the plot a bit, but it's also a beautiful look at female friendship and the centering around finding yourself through your friends, through community and building your own community, escapism as well. I think the last half of the book just really resonated with me because she just sort of goes off on a road trip with her best friend and sort of bums out with her best friend for like a few weeks. It just creates these like beautiful adoptive relationships with a few underdogs. It's just so wholesome and beautiful, and Fox isn't the greatest writer. The book is wild enough that it'll keep you on your toes, keep you reading. I loved the audiobook. I read the book on audiobook and she narrates it herself and it's just wonderfully done. Yeah, this cover is just really, really strong and out there. So glad I have this. Thank you. Okay, The Hypocrite by Jo Hamya. I've heard really interesting things about this from some of my favorites. I think it's Left-Handed Reader and also Cass as well. Really curious about this. Sophia, a young playwright, awaits her father's verdict on her new show. A famous author whose novels haven't aged as gracefully into the modern era as he might have hoped, he is completely unaware that the play centers around a vacation the two took years earlier on an island off Sicily when he dictated a new book to her. It's about taking real-life experience, making fiction out of it, the morality of that, the anger, the secrets, everything coming out. I'm always curious about that. Like, what experiences does a writer take and turn it into fiction? But then, like, how do you remove the reality from it to create that fiction and something that is consumed by so many different kinds of people and their own, like, subjective thoughts on it? It's so weird, right? We take in what a writer has written, and then when we take it in, ultimately, we think it's connected to the writer's life in some way. It has to be, right? As much as we like it or not, I think we do write from experience, as far as we might think we might not be writing from it. Curious about this. I also received I See Buildings Fall Like Lightning, a novel by Keiran Godard, by Europa Editions, thank you. Told through the alternating perspectives of 5 childhood friends from the same housing estate in England, this is a story about friendship, place, loss, addiction, and the ways in which lives, minds, and bodies can be limited by material conditions. It also speaks powerfully to the ways in which humor, loyalty, and family can give life, meaning, and light. Yeah, what were we talking about? About finding family through your friends, and especially for, like, childhood friends. Should be good. We have Max Porter on the back here. He says, "Hourglass shows in the heart of the reader." The hell does that mean? What hourglass? Huh? Hourglass glows in the heart of the reader. What is hourglass? What is he referencing? Anyway, excited for this. I have Hallelujah Junction by John Adams. If anyone doesn't know, John Adams is my favorite composer. He exists in this sort of same minimalist sound. Who am I thinking of? Like Philip Glass and that crowd. Though I think there's a lot more heart in John Adams's work. There's this stronger immensity. I think Glassworks is brilliant and there's this beautiful rush to it, but Adams has more of an orchestraic, worldly sound to it. It just sounds like the symphony of life. Philip Glass and his work almost sounds like a metronome and finding the tempo in life, but Adams's sound is life itself and the dramatics of it. And it's still quite minimalist too, in certain scores, but I've always been fascinated by his work, and I thought, you know what? I'm fascinated enough to read about his life. So I got this, and I think he wrote it himself. Okay. And then Daisuke Shen. Yes, this was published by Clash Books, and I must thank Daisuke for sending this over. When I saw this on Twitter or X, I was just like, ooh, this sounds right up my alley. And I love everything that Clash Books does. It's just like a fun publishing house. They're just gathering a bunch of like really interesting voices that remind me a lot of like the early alt-lit scene in New York in like the early 2000s. This is a collection of short stories wherein divine beings and humans alike must rely on omens to navigate the unpredictable lives they find themselves inhabiting. Ooh, sounds fun. Sounds a bit kooky. I'm into that. Daisuke Shen. Okay, I also have Women by Chloe Caldwell. This is out by Harper Perennial. Thank you, Harper Perennial, for sending me this. I believe this is a republication. A young writer moves from the country to the city and falls in love with another woman for the very first time. From the start, the relationship is doomed. Ooh, in lesbians. I love that. This is a novella, and it's written in almost this sparse prose style. Look at that. Okay, look at that. Okay, very curious about this. So we have that. I have 3 more books here. Hold on. These were sent to me from Knopf, so thank you, Knopf, for sending these over. We have The Imagined Life, a novel by Andrew Porter. Have I read Andrew Porter before? I think I have. The Disappeared. Isn't that a collection of short stories? I really like his stories. He does something that's very close to Raymond Carver, in which he takes really modern lives of modern people, usually family and friends, the complexities of each person, and how he weaves his people together. There's a sparseness, probably not on the same sentence level as, say, Carver, but they're really plain and simple sentences, and it's just really digestible. And I imagine what the imagined life to be. Stephen Mills has reached a crossroads. His wife and son have left, and they may not return, which leaves him determined to find out what happened to his own father, a brilliant, charismatic professor who disappeared on a wave of ignominy in 1984 when Steve was 12. Look at that. What does a person do when everyone has left him? He goes back to his roots and finds out everything about himself. A book about self-discovery, I believe. Beautiful. Thank you, Knopf. The Imagined Life by Andrew Porter. We also have Don't Be a Stranger by Susan Minot. This is about Ivy Cooper, 53 years old, and Ansel Fleming first walks into her life, 18 years her junior. Ansel is a musician recently released from prison on a non-violent drug charge whose quiet intensity and beguiling good looks instantly seduces her. Okay, sold. We love that. Giving baby girl vibes. Anybody out there gonna see baby girl? Let me know. I'm so excited to see it. And also, I think I love this cover so much. It's the lips and like the vintage wallpaper. That's so good. So good, y'all. Yeah, when is this out? This is a proof. Has this already been out? Oh, yeah, it's already out. Came out in October. And then last but not least, we have Ecstasy. Alex Dimitrov. Is it Alex Dimitrov? I believe it is. I've followed his Substack for quite a while now. I just love what he does with like gay life and putting it within prose and poetry. And it's just really plain, simple, sardonic, and just like goes down really easy, like nice whiskey. I don't know if Alex is a whiskey kind of guy, but yeah, I just love his work. They're just really great poems that go down easy. Alex embraces life on the edge in New York as he explores sex, drugs, parties, pleasure, and God in the 2020s in unabashed poems that are a call against repression, a rebuke of cultural norms and shame, and a celebration of human authenticity. Well, there you have it. And I believe this is taken from Blowjob by Andy Warhol. So yeah, was very much sold by this. The looks of this cover is giving like something that City Lights might have put out in like the 80s and 90s. Thank you, Knopf, for sending this over. And that's it. Those are all of the books. Am I going to hold them up again? I don't think so. But I probably should for a thumbnail. But I don't have any more light now, so how's that going to work? Okay, let's do it. Let's just do it, okay? Wait, y'all. Concept idea. Would you like my face in between these piles? Let's rearrange the stack. Okay, there we go. What if I like... Y'all, do we like that? I think that's good, right? Don't forget, I'm a Blackwell's affiliate, so if you enjoyed me talking about any of these books, please consider using my affiliate link downstairs to pick up any of these books or for any of your other bookish needs. Remember, as always, be well, do good work, keep in touch.